Welcome back to another video of the Whizzer build series. In the last video, which would have been the test drive video, I said that the reason why the engine spits and sputters and backfires whenever the wind blows is because the air-fuel mixture gets sucked out of the carburetor when the wind blows. So in today's video, I'm going to be making an air filter to try and counteract that issue. I'll be making the air filter out of this can of soup. It already kind of looks like an air filter, the usual kind of cylinder-esque design, and because it's already reinforced these ribs. So if I squeeze it, it deforms a little, but it takes quite a bit of force to actually bend. So the only modification I have to make so far is drill out the hole so I can mount it onto the carburetor. I got that marked out just because I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. So I'll be back when I get that done. All of the holes are drilled out. It wasn't too hard to do, it didn't take long. A little sharp on the inside, but that doesn't matter. While I was testing it out on the carburetor to see if everything lined up, I did notice that it's too long to actually fit on the in that little gap there. So I'm probably going to cut it around, right around there is probably good enough. So I'll get back when I do that. It's all drilled and cut now. Very sharp on the inside, but I'm not going to be touching anything in there, so I'm fine with it. I sanded the outside on the belt sander just to try and make it a little safer for me. But it fits on the carburetor nicely now. I left enough of a gap for my hand to fit through the primet, so that's good. And now the next step will just be fitting this on. Once I do that, I'll be back. The air filter is all hooked up. Looks pretty good on there. And I can still get my hand through here just to choke it a little bit if I need to start it or give it a little bit more gas. The only problem is back here, you can see there's a little gap right where it mates, right where the air filter mates to the carburetor. I don't care about that as much just because when the mixture blows out, it's going straight out of there. It's not going to be going around. So I don't really care as much just because I doubt the wind will be able to get through there and take the mixture away. So that's the only thing I have to be cautious about. And if it does start leaking or something, then I know exactly where it's going to be coming from. Next thing I have to do, though, is find a cloth to put around there that's thin enough that the engine can breathe through it, but not thin enough to the point where wind can blow through it. So I have to go on a little hunt. I went through my pile of rags and I found this. It's nice and thin, breathable. I can breathe through it without any issues, so I'm hoping it'll be nice and breathable for the engine. As you can see, it doesn't look bad. It has excess, but it's not interfering with anything, so I'll just leave it for now. And if the air filter actually does work, I'll trim it up, probably put like a copper wire around it to connect it, because right now all I have is this hose clamp. So next step will be to go see if it actually changed anything for the engine. Okay, now we get to try and see if it actually starts. Once again with my pull cord. Sediment bowl is already, it's all on. Valve is open just because nothing special about it. Yeah. I don't know if I will be able to start just because I can't fully prime it like I usually do. Smell gas though, so it might take. And now it's a nice warm temperature of 8 degrees, so should start up pretty nice.
a good sound in idle. It hasn't sounded like that since I started working on it.
Probably ran out of gas. I turned the sediment bowl off. Well, overall, I think that's a very successful air filter. For how cheap it was and easy to make. I made it in a little over an hour, I think. Not even. Over the course of 2 days, but still, I'm very happy with how that turned out. Well, hope you enjoyed this video.